You've just got done having a fap. You get that huge dopamine spike, that huge release, that quick feeling of instant gratification. You get that feeling of a huge spike, and then within a matter of seconds, your dopamine plummets back down. The feeling of ejaculation lasts mere seconds. And then we get the thing called post-nut clarity. This is basically when our voice of reason kicks in. We realize how much time we've wasted, and we realize the reality of what we're actually doing and what we could have done with that time. It's not the fact that we regret doing it. It's the fact that we could have spent that time in much better places elsewhere. We probably get regret from that. I believe this reasoning we get after we do something like this that we did against our beliefs is reasoning. It's our voice of reason. Imagine if we could have this voice of reason be able to work before we waste our time with these desires that are controlling us. Imagine how nice it would be to be in control of your desires, and instead of having your desires be in control of you. This is what I believe a life of reason will lead us to. If we can live with a life of reason where everything is reasoned, we can come to a better conclusion about what to do with our time and work on not wasting it in instant gratification activities such as fapping and watching YouTube and stuff and playing video games. We can learn that these things are waste of our time. So the way to live a life of reason takes 3 key aspects. And I learnt this from this meditation that I read out of the Daily Stoic a couple of days ago. So I'll read this meditation now. It's from Seneca. Seneca's Moral Letters 89.9. The best and greatest number of authors have asserted that philosophy consists of 3 parts: the moral, the natural, and the rational. The first puts the soul in order, the second thoroughly examines the natural order of things, and the third inquires into the proper meaning of words and their arrangement and proofs, which keeps falsehoods from creeping into the displace of truth. So what I've taken that to mean is that the 3 aspects, living to our morals, nature, and rationality, is what will lead us to a life of freedom, which is what Ryan Holiday goes on to explain after that meditation. So, if we want to live a life of reason, we've got to follow these 3 aspects. So how do we do that? The moral is living true to your beliefs. If we don't live true to what we believe, then how can we expect to find happiness? We can find that if we don't live true to what we believe, not only are we being a hypocrite, but we are also going to be unfulfilled. We know that it doesn't feel fulfilling to go against our beliefs for outside factors. An example of this for me was I didn't like bullying or anything like that of that nature, but I let myself be a punching bag effectively for years, for nearly 2 years, or just over 2 years. I let myself basically be a punching bag. But when it came to drinking, I would not let anyone deter me from my path. I would not let anyone force me to drink. The only way you could get a drink down me was if you physically held me and poured it down my gullet. So we have beliefs that we are stronger on, and some beliefs that we may let be changed by external factors. Our ultimate goal is to have one of these. Our ultimate goal is to be completely unchanged by external factors, because if we can stay true to our morals and beliefs, then we're going to find more happiness. We're not going to be changing our beliefs to fit in, because we know what is truly right for us. And if we follow our morals and beliefs, then how can we disappoint ourselves? We're just going to find that we are fulfilled and proud of ourselves for sticking to what we believe. In order to live a life of happiness, we need to avoid materialistic desires and wanting that materialistic success and acceptance from other people. We have to be willing to give up some of that materialistic success in order to stay true to our morals. You'll find this in religion. If you follow the path of religion, you're probably going to find that you're not going to be as rich as you could be, because you're not going to spend as much time chasing the money if you focus on your connection with God. Because in religion, God is the ultimate. He is above all. And if you put God first, you're not going to put everyone else above God. And therefore you may find you're less successful, but that doesn't matter, because it's about what you believe. The natural is the world around us, both physically and mentally. It is important to remember that this world around us is very different to how it used to be. We live in a generation where degeneracy reigns supreme. We are incredibly connected and highly populated, but we mustn't hope for times of old to come back. We must try to be happy now, because time isn't going to wait for you. If you dwell on the past, then you're going to give up living in the now. And dwelling on the past isn't going to do anything. The past is the past. You can't change it. All you can change is now. If you make changes now, you'll reap the rewards of them in the future. But if you dwell on the past now, you'll find yourself in the same place you were 5 years on. If we dwell on the past, not only will we be unsuccessful, but we'll also be unhappy, because we're constantly hoping to go back to simpler times. Well, the truth is, those simpler times aren't going to come. Life before technology and stuff like that, it's never going to come back. I myself has never lived without technology, but I can't imagine living in a world without it. So I don't really have as much of a problem, but I can imagine that older people, maybe people that grew up with it, they would have experienced the world before smartphones. And I can imagine them longing to go back to a simpler time like that. But if we long for the past, we're going to forget to live in the present. And if we aren't happy now, how can we expect to be happy in the future without putting in some work to make ourselves happy? It's not the materialistic things that make us happy. It's the things we do that make us happy. Doing things that actually make you happy is one of the best ways to be happy. Me working on YouTube is something that actually makes me happy. It's crazy to think about that something that people would consider work, I'm able to enjoy. I'm happy when I'm studying and doing maths. I really enjoy maths. I'm really happy to do it. I'll go into why I'm happy to do these things in a later video. But if we are able to become happy and enjoy doing the hard things and make these things our top priority, then we're going to be happy because we're going to be doing the things that we love. And those things happen to be those normal everyday things we do. And they make us happy. Our times are changing whether you like it or not. You can either live in the past and watch life go by without making significant changes, or you can embrace it and try to work on your happiness now before you put in all this work to get this materialistic thing and find it doesn't even make you happy. So put your happiness first, because that's how our human nature works. Happiness doesn't come from those external things. We find happiness in the simpler things, those things that we do every day. Our work, exercise, relationships. Those are the most important things to us. Without those, what's the point? Lastly, the rational is the analysis of all. Being rational means that we look through every opportunity through a rational lens. It means that when we are presented with a problem, we look through all the outcomes, and it means that we choose the outcome that we believe would be the best to solve that specific problem. Sorry, I need a drink. I need to drink some water, boys and girls. Uncle Luke, off. When we are confronted with thoughts or feelings or opinions that we are given from outside sources, we need to think through it rationally. This means we have to compute to our best ability what outcomes could come from a specific thought or idea. The thing is, if we choose to think rationally about how to solve problems, then we're putting our best foot forward. We're giving our best possible solution that we can come up with to a problem, and we are willing to stand by that solution. It means that if we choose to solve problems in this way, that even if we get it wrong, it's all right, because we've put our best foot forward, and we have tried our best to come up with a solution, and we've stood by it, even if we've been told that there's a better way. We've done what we believe is the best way to solve the problem. And we can humbly accept that we were wrong and take the opportunity to learn from our mistakes and take that into future decision making. This way you take full accountability for your solutions. You take responsibility even when you're wrong. You might have got it wrong this time, but now you know for next time. Having this ability to calculate the best solution to a problem will make you more confident. You'll be more confident in your own decision making process because you're willing to stand by your decisions. It means that even when you're wrong, you're not going to be annoyed by it because you know you've done your best. And this will make you more fulfilled in your life because you'll be able to learn even if you make the mistake. What you think is the right solution is the most important thing, and acting on it is the most important thing. Stick with your guns. So to wrap up, living a life of reason means we have to do 3 things. We have to live to our morals and beliefs and not be moved by external factors when encountered by them. Not be changed by them whatsoever. We have to accept the nature of our world. It's changing. And we have to learn to accept to be happy in this current world because that's all we can. We can only live in the moment to be happy now. That's the most important thing. And lastly, we must remember to be rational and look at things through a critical lens so that we can make decisions that we stand by to our fullest capabilities. And even if we are wrong, we are able to put our hand up and humbly accept that we are wrong and learn from it for next time. That's all I have for today. I love you all. Now stop consuming and go create.